We all hope for a brighter future, but Rosehaven gives you a chance. Rosehaven is there to support and bridge the gap, and they made all the difference in my life, or I wouldn't even be here. I'd probably be dead by now.
Rosehaven is the only day shelter and community center in Portland serving women, children, and marginalized genders experiencing homelessness, poverty, and intersecting issues.
You've affected other lives more than just mine. When I first came here to see, hey, is this a new beginning? Can I do better here? I made a trip on my Social Security check from Austin one summer. It was so hot I was about to die. I come here and I lived 6 weeks on the street and stayed at Salvation Army, which is closed now, down there on Burnside.
Tell me about the first time you came to Rosehaven and where you were then and where you are now, because you seem like you're doing pretty darn good now.
That picture's from 2016. That's where I started. Transition Center. You know where that is. I was trying to deal out of the transition center and it was a shock, literally. And Rosehaven bridged the gap. They helped me survive. And that was when we could come in here and shop and have coffee and get a meal and everything and, commune with people. I've really become homeless continually. And I'm raising a child. I run around in a car. I wouldn't eat for days because I have to afford a Happy Meal with some fries or some shit for $1 for my child to not starve to death. It's very hard for women on the street. It's very hard, they get raped. They got nowhere to use the bathroom. It's horrible. It's really so. You do them the most good. The women struggle the most, and we're most persecuted. And I swear to God, out of the whole of Portland and this whole 200-mile round area, y'all are the best. I don't know about out of here, but you make a difference.
You got to tell me about your competitive wrestling days, because I can see this coming out, this competitive spirit.
The erotic, psychotic, tonight only, slamming heads and chopping nuts. Or is it chopping heads and slamming nuts?
Thank you for that.
The erotic, psychotic. Oh, we're ready to rumble. How it had to be in the 80s and 90s. I did it to I got pregnant in 96. I was on the verge of breaking into WWE, WWF. On TV. When China came up, we went to qualifying camp in Carolina and we beat ass and did it all, and then I found out I was pregnant. I was like, oh my God, this is really bad timing. About to be on TV, man, Lord. So it didn't work out, but it was meant because it wasn't for me.
What has changed in your life since you started coming to Rosehaven?
It started with you accepting me being able to get my mail here in 2019. Yeah, that's when it started, 2.5 years ago or so. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I'm so grateful.
And when did you move into your apartment again?
I applied for the apartments, Home Forward, okay, and I got notified later, 3 years on a waiting list.
Like, even once you got your ID and you got your apartment, it's still like hard work. You still need a safe place to get your mail. Sometimes
benefits
people don't
get cut off with no mail. It's horrible. Exactly. It's very critical. I mean, it's not just a thing.
Is this the ID that we helped you get?
Yeah, passport level driver's license ID. With the pandemic, it has been hell.
From that to that.
And I've managed to get my son a driver's license now that I got this car. I got my son a real ID, which is a passport, really, to Canada, Mexico, and anywhere. It's passport level. In a women's center, you're all just great. You've made all the difference. You've changed my life. I've had a progression of helping me get my driver's license. And then I started a small business with some speakers and a microphone. I spun some music and did some parties and stuff. And so I was able, when the pandemic hit, I was able to get a grant. Somebody told me about it. Hey, you can get some help here and file for that. And so I'm getting some weekly benefit because I was self-employed. It's a chain of events, all because of you guys.
Wow.
I mean, it's really revelational. It's really extreme.
Oh, Leslie.
That's why I'm sitting here trying to tell you this story, because it's made the total difference in my life, being a shitter or being suicidal instead of making it. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's been a wild ride, and that's why this is so meaningful to me, man. It's just a whole nother level of able to live out of the ashes of what I had, you know? And then the pandemic, and to come out of the pandemic with cash and a way and a means to get a passport level driver's license has helped my son and keep afloat.
Rosehaven is currently fundraising for our new home, which will triple our facility size and capacity to serve guests like Leslie. If you would like to make a gift in honor of Leslie Alexander or the 3,700 other women, children, and marginalized genders served by Rosehaven, please visit rosehaven.org today.